friendly with
Yeah, like
fathers, especially if she's retired.
I want to make sure
but
one
they've got
runs
understanding too.
However
They might
that
be good
happens.
Right, that's what I thought.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Darryl.
It was lovely to meet you.
You're very welcome, Kathy. Good to meet you.
Okay, bye.
And Jenny?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
So is Windows next or is Dan next?
Say that again?
Windows or Dan?
Dan,
Next.
Windows, because Dan's at the
Okay.
bottom of the hour.
You want us both over here or you want us over there?
That's up to you. You have to share a mic here, or
Darren, you can, however you want to go.
care. I have a face for radio, so.
You might be the expert. You're the expert, I'm just facilitating the expertise.
You want me over there?
I don't care.
I just want to say I really miss Greer.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Just to have somebody to tap
Yes.
the
Oh, I
space
thought
bar and
you were
switch
gonna share.
when somebody's talking is extremely helpful.
They run
Can,
the Johnny's ready.
what if we put the chair, can we do that? We've got enough. Is it too late to switch, Darryl, where we put Mike over here to where they can both be next to this, or do you want it how it is?
I don't mind switching.
It doesn't matter
Okay.
to me unless it's just important on the podcast, so it's fine with me.
No, you just won't be on camera.
When's Greer coming back? Where is he? See, I can't.
And we don't push the Facebook stuff a lot. We just, we do have several people that actually watch it every week, but the sound and cameras and all this stuff is
So, the window displays here for our Facebook broadcast, right?
Because then it'll be on that camera.
yeah.
Okay.
Want to dress thousands of homes. Home Guide Tulsa.
.com.
But I wasn't bug-eyed and lost that time. Just slow.
You're saying if we were paying attention.
Yeah, okay. You were. Okay, so Sabrina's with us, Pamela is with us, and Darren and Mike are with us, and I want to talk about windows. I just want to get right into the window issue. We've got some houses coming up. Dan Newberry is going to tell us at TTCU Federal Credit Union, at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about interest rates because they are low again.
They are
And
low.
there's that
That's great.
window. You don't want to miss the window, and we'll talk about that. But speaking of windows, I'm going to take credit for it. That sounded brilliant, didn't it?
I thought you did that on purpose.
No, I didn't. I was just talking while I was fumbling on other things. Okay, so you've got a house that might not even be that old. And you've got aluminum windows that freeze up at the coldest part of winter. You open the drapes and you see like frozen, they're frozen on the inside. Or what? What's another thing that you can...
Well,
like,
how do you know?
in-
How do you know if you have bad windows?
That's a good question. Why don't we ask the experts?
Yeah.
Usually if you can't see out of them.
Okay, that's a good... Okay, so now you've got double pane and they're fogged up. You can never clean them because they've lost their seals.
They've lost their seals. They have moisture condensation inside. A lot of times, wintertime and summertime, extreme heat and extreme cold, when you're near the windows, you can feel the heat or you can feel that cold draft when you're just trying to relax and watch your favorite program.
So then you know you have bad windows.
Absolutely.
I think I have bad windows.
So, yeah, to make sure you're not being sold a bill of goods to buy windows, what do you need to ask that is perhaps skeptical?
Most of the time, I think probably one of the biggest
Healthy
questions-
skepticism.
Healthy skepticism, and that's great. You want to be informed when you're making these decisions, and the last thing you need is a pushy sales guy trying to get you to sign a contract and
I hate that.
making you commit to a deal, or it gets worse if you don't sign today. That we don't do that high pressure. We give you the information. We want to educate the public. When we come to your home, it's going to be a pleasant experience. We're going to educate you. and we're going to leave you with information, and you guys make the decision and call us, and we'll get scheduled with you. But we're not going to force you to sign anything.
So do
We
you get
believe
mad
in our
if they
product.
say they want to get another opinion?
Absolutely not. We encourage them to. Window World sells the most windows in the United States out of any other manufacturer, which is
So you all are just
unknown.
local.
We are the Tulsa franchise, but Window World is a national company, and we sell more windows nationwide than any other box store, any other name you think you know. We sell more windows than them for a reason. It's simply the best for less.
Now, we have been in your facility here.
Which was a great experience.
Yeah, nice, organized. I was just like, each of these little, I'll call them piles of windows, but they're actually very organized, wrapped and everything, are going out to somebody's house. So we are talking, like when, I'm jumping all over the place because I have too many questions for you. I go out to somebody's house. I'm just starting this whole thing over again. I'm going out to somebody's house and showing it maybe to a buyer. And the buyer's looking at it, and there are single pane windows, maybe it was built in the 70s, or so they're single pane windows and they've got storm windows. What I talked about in the first segment. If you need to replace those, what is the process of cutting out, remove? You're going to have this big gaping hole. What kind of framing has to be done? It sounds very intimidating. But when I'm talking to a buyer, I'm trying to explain to them that this is really simple. It's almost turnkey for them. All you have to do is call you, and you come out and measure and put them in, and it's
We're going to make
beautiful.
it painless, and it's actually it seems like a big task, but our guys are so great. They're educated to perfection, and we're going to do an average size house in one day. We're not going to tear your windows out if it's raining. We don't have any worries of that nature. We obviously don't want to create issues for you, but it's going to be pretty painless. We're going to come in, tear out the old windows, put all the new windows in, clean up, caulk, seal. When we leave, it's going to look absolutely amazing.
Do you have to do a lot of repainting after it's done? Because it seems like there's going to be, that you're going to have to completely repaint your house because you've got all these new windows and things don't fit.
Not typically, no. Most of the time, we build them to butt up to the sheetrock, and then we seal the edges with Window World manufactures its own caulking as well. We don't use any box store caulking.
Huh.
So that's how we give you the lifetime warranty. We have a true lifetime warranty, but to answer your question about painting, usually not.
So if you're getting a lifetime warranty, what does that mean? Is that like against the glass breaking?
Our window warranty is so great, Darryl, that if you're mowing your yard one day and you accidentally hit a rock with the lawnmower blade and it breaks your window, you just give us a call. We're going to bring one out and put it in for free.
Mike, have you ever considered maybe taking a weekend course or going to a like a conference on confidence? Maybe building confidence.
One thing I've been accused of is being too punchy. I think we used a marketing firm one time that told me I need to calm down.
Well, but here's why, I've got to tell you, I'm very confident in what you do because I've really been through this process a lot. And I'm asking these questions. Sometimes I feel kind of dumb, like I'm asking these questions like I don't know the answer. And obviously I do learn things every now and then. But I've been so amazed at this morning, I talked to a client, a prospective client, and I say, you really do need to replace these for the amount of money that you're going to spend, doctoring up around it, scraping off, reglazing the windows, all these other things for these old windows. You're just going to go out here, it's $300 to $350 per opening, which isn't, by the way, that's not a quote, but it's a general idea of where you're going to be on cost, right?
Absolutely.
And for that amount of money, just replace them. And now you've upgraded the salability, the value as far as efficiency, and all of these other things that come along with it. And you've cut down on some of your other maintenance costs that you're going to have to go through in order to get the house ready to sell anyway. And that's what we talked about.
Absolutely. And specifically this time of year, your air conditioning systems work 10 times as hard as they normally have to. And the window replacement will help that tremendously, which helps the life of your equipment. Overall, just the whole cost of the day-to-day operations of your equipment.
Darryl, let me add something to that. One of the great things about our product is the warranty that Mike talked about. It's also transferable. So for your client who's trying to sell a home, who needs to upgrade the window, the buyer, for a small fee, can then own that warranty. I don't know many companies that do that. So it's a great selling point for the seller as well.
Well, and you've actually replaced some window panes for us because one of them failed, and it was because of a BB. hit it. So
And that's our accidental replacement warranty. We'll replace your window if you accidentally break it. I don't know of any other company that does that.
telephone number to Window World.
918-994-6400.
You're listening to The Future of Real Estate. I'm Darryl Baskin. And we're going to come back. We'll talk to TTCU Federal Credit Union. And I want to talk about efficiency on windows. The low E, this silver or whatever coating on them. You can see the difference when you drive by houses. And I want to know how much money you're actually saving. So we'll talk about that with Window World coming up after this.
When quality and value matter most, choose Window World. Superior service, American-made products, and industry-leading warranties make us the #1 choice for your next home remodel. J.D. Power ranked Window World highest in customer satisfaction with window and patio door retailers. Be proud of your home and take care of it with a brand you can trust. Window World, America's exterior remodeler.
She designed the dress, but can she budget for her future?
I'm not ready yet, but I want to be.
Help her get 100% ready.
I live in a 100-year-old home. It's a home I fell in love with, and it has so many amazing features. But the one thing it does not have is straight windows. It has windows that are cracked and broken and worn out. I contacted Window World. They came in and put these brand new, amazing, incredibly beautiful windows into my home. From the outside of the house, they match the exterior perfectly. It looks like they've always been here. Now the windows are the jewels in the home. Window World, from the beginning to the end, they met and exceeded every expectation I had. Window World really is simply the best for less.
From Window World of Tidewater,
we're the Reeds, and for nearly 2 decades
and a few generations,
we've been transforming your houses to dream homes right here in Hampton Roads. Join us for a seamless remodeling experience.
Call for a free estimate.
I'm Darryl Baskin of the Baskin Real Estate Specialists at eXp Realty. Okay, askinforbaskin.com. People talk about, hey, can I have a quick conversation? Yes, askinforbaskin.com. I don't like it when people read a blog post or they listen to something online and it's like maybe good information, but it's from New York. Or it's talking about somebody's perspective on the housing market nationally or from Wyoming. Certain things translate from one market to the next. But there are all of these, it's like a recipe. There are all of these little things that have to be put together with each property. And we talk about how much improvement you should make. Well, that differs even across town. Should you improve your property if it's $750,000 or $125,000? To what level do you do those things? You can improve too much. This is the over-improvement argument. And you end up pricing higher than what you'll appraise for. And you might have spent an extra $6,000 preparing your house for sale that you'll never get back because you didn't have to spend it. It would have sold at its highest potential market value at that time. And you wouldn't have had to spend that extra $1,000, $5,000, whatever it is. This is something that's very dynamic about real estate, and it's why, with all of these things that are available today, I mean, look, you've got Zillow, you've got Realtor.com, you've got eHow, and YouTube videos on everything. Hey, they're okay. You should be an educated consumer. I genuinely mean that. but you also need to get expert advice and someone who really understands your market, your community, and that's why we're called the Baskin Real Estate Specialists. There are people here in our group that actually specialize in certain things so they can learn as much information to be able to pass that along to you and help you through the process to get you to closing. Because the negotiation isn't when you just put the house on the market or even when you get your contract. It goes all the way through the process with the appraiser, with the lender, with the inspector. There is negotiation all the way to the end. Plan for that and start with a conversation. AskinForBaskin.com. Put it on the calendar, no cost or obligation. We'll have a 15-minute phone call. Then we'll decide where you want to go from there, and we'll get you connected to the right people. Some of those right people are here in studio today, like Window World, and another one is on the phone, Dan Newberry with TTCU Federal Credit Union. Interest rates, I read in a online news article this week that they were the lowest they've been in 20 months. By the way, months, not years. But Dan, you're saying that's close, but not completely accurate. So I was going to say, like, perfect storm, which kind of sounds like something bad is happening, but this is really a great thing for a consumer who wants to get that lowest rate, because part of your home purchase is negotiating the price is one thing. Negotiating the repairs and other things is that's the physical dwelling itself. But unless you are paying cash, you are buying money. Right? Your loan is a purchase of money, the use of that money. And the terms that you can get that loan, for that loan, are a huge advantage, especially if you're thinking you're going to buy a $150,000, $200,000 house, whatever, and the terms on the money are so good, you're saving hundreds of dollars or just $100 per month, or your closing costs are less. This is why you should shop and understand what the mortgage process is, because it's just as important to the purchase and the timing of your purchase as anything else. Yeah, and this is one of those windows. It cycles back and forth. You never really know. But we were talking about the interest rates going up, and here we are. There's the opportunity. Again, they've come back down. So if you put this off on the side, TTCU.
I like what you said, that it can't get much lower, really. So take advantage of that.
TTCU.com. And the telephone number. Hey, Dan, thank you very much. Really, really good information to have. Put that back on your list. You're listening to The Future of Real Estate, Tulsa's source for local real estate news and information. I'm Darryl Baskin, the Baskin Real Estate Specialists. We're going to take a break, come back with some houses for sale, and energy efficiency on your windows, why you really should take a look. They may pay for themselves, like here real fast. Window World, right after this.
I want to be an interpreter for sign language.
Maybe try to be a lawyer.
I would like to run like a little cafe.
Junior Achievement gives young people the skills they need to own their economic success, plan for their future, and make smart academic choices. Our volunteers help students with financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship.
And it's really helping me understand how it's going to happen.
That has served our
Absolutely.
community for more than 34 years.
So it could pay itself off pretty quickly, I think. And it's different than if you get used to the warmer weather gradually, but when it's been cool and then it's hot, everybody just freaks out and goes, turn that air conditioner up or down.
Everything is prepared. Everything's
Make it cool.
on time. There
Yeah.
aren't surprises.
Well, I just know, like, I love light
They have when they're working
in the house, like natural light, but when it's so hot, like you have to keep your blinds and everything closed because that sun
Feels
just.
like a cave.
Did I show you the lamp?
I don't think we got to the lamp. We didn't get to the lamp.
Yeah, that's a great illustration.
How much difference it makes when you literally don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
We had big, heavy drapes.
Mhm.
That changed ours out, especially in the winter time. So
Mhm.
it's good.
Integrity
3
Title
foot by
and
7
Closing.
foot.
Find them
Mhm.
online. IntegrityTitleandClosings.com.
Yeah.
Call 918-749-9130.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
I
have
really
no
am going
blinds
to call
and
you
no
guys out.
drapes.
Neighbors have asked us, you changed that.
My ex hated it. She hated it, but I like natural light,
Mhm.
and I like to wake up to that. I've never used an alarm for 25 years, so as soon as I kind of see sunlight, I wake up, and that's kind of like how I cycle my day. But it's great with the new windows for sure.
When it's time to sell your house.
I like that too, and I like, as long as I can have the door open or the windows open in my bedroom where I can hear the sounds, I can feel the morning breeze, because even in the middle of summer is hot, the morning there's a nice breeze where I'm at, so I like all that.
Just like you're hiring someone to represent your best interests. You want someone who can give you the best advice.
I like when we have a lot more people on the show.
Yeah, it's fun.
Has tools and resources that create an advantage for you as the
It's
home
kind of
seller
boring
to
when
get
it's
the
just
best
you and
price
I and
short
Daryl.
I know.
You want a real estate professional.
Well, if you need some color, just text me. I'll come.
Find the right real estate agent is easy with a free report. 20 questions you absolutely
Now next week
must
you and I will
ask
both
your
be
next
gone,
realtor.
so it might
What are
be
you
just
doing?
Hillary and
Dotted line.
Daryl.
Yeah.
It's a free report for home It's sellers to help you that decide the best real estate has a agent gap for your on property. it, Start
and
asking the questions.
Hey,
You'll start to have a better understanding of it fell off. how they run their business, what they can
Don't
do
break
for you.
theirs.
Yeah, remember that, Daryl. Pamela and I are both not going to be here next week.
It's a free report. You can get it at 20 questions.
Try not to cry.
It fell off.
He cares so much.
Yeah,
Does
no,
it
yeah.
screw on?
Yeah, you gotta unplug it and then you can screw it back in and then you plug it back in.
Okay, well it fell off.
I can come do that in a minute.
No, it fell off. So just
Alright, I'll be in there in just a second.
in between.
Daryl, you're being a problem child today.
One address, thousands of homes. HomeGuideTulsa.com. 6712 West 141st Street.
We have an open house in 15 minutes. It starts in 15 minutes, 2 to 4 today.
Really?
Yes. That's a beautiful house.
How are you going to get there in 15 minutes?
I have someone else doing it. I have another agent, another EXP agent doing it, Tamara.
Oh, Tamara. You stole Tamara.
I know.
I like Tamara because she's great at open houses. So, okay, well, I'll steal her back next weekend. How about, I've got 204 South Hominy, which is about 8,800 square feet of commercial space in Skytook. It's 425,000 right now, and it is air conditioned, so heated and cooled space. Has some office space. Has some also yard area that could be parking, and it has probably 2/3 of it is all open. So
a great commercial spot.
Really good commercial space. So a good warehouse. And 7732 South Harvard. This one is just a great contemporary, very good price per square foot, 4,454 square feet. I have several of these right now. You all know that we got the one in Forest Trails, which is like the lowest price per square foot in Jinx Schools. The larger homes. It's like 9,000 square feet, and it is staged now. It looks beautiful.
Oh, I need to go in it now that it's staged.
Several of those. Look for, what I think you should do is buy one of these homes and get the price per square foot. I mean, get the home that you're looking for, and then upgrade it as you go. If you're handy or weekend projects, or maybe you have bonus type income where you have steady income, base income, but then you have a lot of years where, hey, I did pretty well, or I met a quota, and then you get extra. That's a strategy that's very doable for a lot of people, especially when you need a big house. Then you have these options.
Well, both those homes are very open, so you have a lot of room to do something with it, and they both have great yards, so and great locations, South Tulsa.
Speaking of great locations in South Tulsa, Sun Meadow, Jinx Schools again, 5725 East 97th Place. It will be staged here shortly, and lots of interest in it because you got these big yards and space between the houses. People who want some space really love Sun Meadow. The neighborhood's really well cared for. You'll notice that when you drive through Sun Meadow. New price on 4717 South Narcissus, the one level, 3-car garage. There are like no other 3-car garages. You might find 2 in Broken Arrow. Just search for anything. Put a price. You look for something under $210,000 in Broken Arrow with a 3-car garage.
You're not going to find anything.
Hardly anything.
Not at that price.
And last, 6644 East 124th Place in Bixby. We have a lot of South Tulsa Bixby on the list today. And that's like a luxury home that's
done to the nines.
Yeah, I mean, we keep saying it feels thick. Sometimes new houses don't feel that
I don't
way.
like that adjective.
It's very well structured.
It's not how you describe houses, but one of my clients did that one day. They're like, wait, well, that's a different way to look at it. It doesn't feel cheap.
Yes, it feels
definitely very
substantial.
Well built.
Substantial. I like that better.
Solid. HomeGuideTulsa.com. We'll debate this off air. HomeGuideTulsa.com. You're listening to The Future of Real Estate, Tulsa's source for local real estate news and information. Well, if we go back to the window discussion, we want to talk to Window World about
energy efficiency.
Low E, the glass coating. Why do you need to know what is going on besides just double pane? Darren and Mike are with us. Who's going to take?
I'm going to divert to Darren on that. He's been quiet today.
Well, and Darren's the one. If you're watching on Facebook Live, Darren's the one that's got the prop behind him, like the window. Show us that.
Do Vanna White.
Yeah, do that. I mean, how do you tell the difference between windows?
Well, this is our typical window, our double.
Typical. So you're not here just like saying, well, look, I'm going to show you the fanciest, but we're actually going to install something made of cardboard.
No. Unfortunately, we don't participate in that. Or fortunately, I should say.
Fortunately.
This is our 3001. It's our standard double hung window that we put probably in 90% of our houses. that is a double hung window, meaning both sashes move up and down.
Now, what's a sash?
The
Not
sash-
everyone knows what
right.
a sash is.
I think we went through this before when you guys were at the place. The sash is just
Couldn't
simply
say
the
that.
glass. So the top, this is the top sash, and this is the bottom sash, the part that raise up and down. So both being a double hung, you can lower the top part of the glass and tilt it in to clean, as well as raise the bottom part and tilt it in to clean.
Especially helpful when you've got a 2-story.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's great for 2-story. It's also good for ventilation. A lot of people, because our screens, we also come standard with screens that slide up and down on the window. You can lower the top sash
and raise the screen to the upper section.
Right, and get ventilation. And not that we've had any rain here in the last forever, but if you do have eaves over your home and it's nice and cool and you want to get some air movement without getting your house wet, lower the top sash, slide the screen up, get great ventilation.
That's huge. That's really huge. Otherwise, because it'll blow in, it gets your windowsill all wet, and then you've got to repaint it or refinish it after
Could cause all
a
kinds
little
of
while.
problems.
Gets on your furniture, moldy carpet, mildew carpet.
So to your energy efficiency.
All fixed by your windows.
I'm chomping at the bit to talk about this.
Do it.
We hear a lot about low E and argon gas. Some people have the impression that that's just nothing that really matters. It's huge. We do offer a window without low E and without the argon. The only place I would ever consider that would be something that maybe your rental property or a flip property or something you're just needing to get something in quickly. If you're going to live there, or if you're going to pay the utilities for the people who do live there, add that option. We basically, in Oklahoma, we're in the south central region. So 90% of our windows that we sell meet Energy Star standard. The 2 components that I'm talking about, the low E coating, actually has silver particles in it. Gold is...
So that's a coating. That's not inside
Correct.
the window. Okay.
It's melded into the glass, for lack of better terms.
And you can't wash it off. You can't use a chemical that's going to take it off.
It's on the inside of the inside glass.
Okay.
Gold is the most reflective property. And we would love to sell gold windows, but nobody would.
I like to see it like reflecting, when I'm wearing it.
I think in your house it probably does anyway. But the silver would be the second property. So with the low E coating, it's a triple low E coating, you're getting about 80 to 85% of that radiant energy is staying where it's supposed to stay. So in other words, sunlight's hitting and it's bouncing off, staying where it's supposed to stay. Radiant energy is also your heater. So in the wintertime when your heater kicks on, it's the same thing. It's hitting, bouncing in, staying where it's supposed to stay.
Okay.
The argon gas is simply an invisible insulation. You know, if you take your sheetrock off your house, you have insulation behind your walls. It's the same thing in between glass. So that speaks to the conductive property of the window.
Argon is an inert gas. It doesn't have a water molecule. So Darren and I got into this scientific discussion a few days ago, and we had to just draw straws and figure out who was correct.
But how do you do that? I mean, how do you put the argon in there?
It's done during manufacturing. There's 2 panes of glass, so it's a double pane. Everybody's familiar with that. Then there's a seal put around that. The gas is actually heavier than air. So when they inject in between the IG, the insulated glass unit, the gas stays there. People say, well, does it leak out? If it leaks out, you have a breach of your seal. That's the only way it can leak out. Then you may see moisture in between the 2 panes, which Mike referred to earlier when you can't see out of your window. Then
you've cleaned it.
After you've cleaned it. It won't wipe off. That's you've had seal failure or condensation between the glass.
And is that covered in your warranty?
You beat me to it. That was about it. Guess what? If that happens, for as long as you own your home, we'll come out and replace that at no charge.
So you're saying that warranty still lasts. It doesn't get smaller and smaller so that things are less offered on it after 10, 15, 20 years?
That's the beauty of what we do.
Most companies look for a reason to get you out of your warranty. That's right. Kind of the goal in some of this industry is they look for every way, every loophole to just tell you, sorry, that's not covered in your warranty. Where we change the whole industry in windows is we look for a way that we can help you. We don't say no. We say call us. Let us look at it. We want to help you. We want you to be satisfied with your purchase for the lifetime.
So, and this is a really common problem, to have those broken seals, and not a common problem to Window World, but just a common problem with double pane windows, and much of it is over the years when double pane windows come out. You know, they were, hey, I was marketing houses. Oh, these are high efficiency double pane windows. Well, high efficiency in 1983 and high efficiency today is completely different. But those windows were pretty cheaply made, and they worked for a while, but they get hot and expand and contract and all these other things that happen, and they're in the aluminum frames, the older aluminum frames, they just fail. And so these new ones are much more reliable. That's how I'm sure you can offer this type of warranty. But when I go on home inspections, and I just had one recently, and I say this with consideration for all home inspectors, because there's an element to what they were saying that is very true, and there's an element that's not the complete story. And that's what I want to point out here, because you might think, oh, I've got double pane windows and a few of them have failed, and an inspector might tell you, hey, they're still functioning, they're still good, it's just a cosmetic issue. But if that gas is no longer in that window, then it's lost some of the efficiency properties, and that is something that is it's confusing to the public. I'd like you to describe that. Now, to put you back in this situation, an older home that does not have your windows and probably doesn't have the argon gas in it has failed. It's all foggy now. So if it didn't have argon gas, do the old ones have argon gas? When did that start being done? It may still be functioning in the way it was intended, except you can't see through it. Bad property for a window, by the way. But then if you had the argon gas, those are not functioning the way they were supposed to.
Correct. We had a conversation off air just a minute ago. If you are having to close your curtains because it's too hot in your room, even though you can see out the window, your window's not operating properly. At least the energy efficiency.
Unless it's an old window.
Yeah, unless it's an old window. So it may not be visible to you. You may not see moisture in between the two panes. But if you're feeling that radiant energy or that conductive energy, if you walk by, we were just talking about this, my old house, when you'd walk by in the wintertime, you could literally feel cold radiating off the glass. So you're not getting the most efficient performance out of those windows.
And it doesn't mean your window's broken. It just
Correct.
means it's not the same efficiency,
Correct.
energy efficiency that
Correct.
you have.
Yeah.
Well, the whole window's designed to eliminate thermal bridging. So when you get an extreme temperature difference from inside to outside, whether it's hot or cold, aluminum, metal, that actually bridges that temperature right inside your home. That's why your window feels cold in the wintertime and it's hot in the summertime. So our windows are designed to break that barrier and create a insulation barrier so you don't get that thermal bridging. That's gone in a window that you're feeling the heat on the aluminum frame, on the window glass. When you stick your hand against that window and it feels extremely warmer than the inside temperature, then that window's not functioning properly.
What's the best test for that?
In this time of year when the sun's directly on the window, just lay the back of your hand on the window. A lot of times you have to pull it off quickly because it's hot.
Now, how much does that contribute to your utility bills, do you think?
A ton.
We used to have some studies that were published, and 25 to 30% was not uncommon. It's difficult to quantify that sometimes because of other factors in your home. If you're leaving your doors open, obviously it's not going to help out. But you could save up to Mike and I both are prime. Even though we're with the company, we both have experienced that once we put our windows in our house, a drastic change in our utility bills.
My air conditioner unit used to run all day. I have an older unit downstairs that ran all day in these types of climates now. And I've noticed in the last 3 summers that my air conditioner cycles in a 20-25 minute range and shuts off for 20-30 minutes. So it never shut off when it got above 90 degrees, and now it shuts off all the time. So the wear and tear on that unit is obviously noticeable to me, and it's going to last a lot longer.
Well, and the cost of energy today is really making people take another look. We're starting to see a trend towards buyers who say, I want to know the cost of ownership, not just the cost of the house and the cost of the mortgage, but how much is it going to cost me to own this house? And that's where Window World, good stuff that you're doing. Stay tuned, because after the next show, they're going to be talking to one of the insulation companies. I've been hearing the promo for it. I can't wait to hear it. I'm going to stick around and listen.